Welcome to the Highest Resolution. My guest today is the incredible Miss Tayla Berry. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate it. And so yeah, just to get into, I've only met you one time, but
briefly
yeah,
at that, like it was for a shoot.
yeah, at Janelle's
Yep,
beauty
Icon.
salon. Yep, yeah, and but I've known of your work though, because I know you work with Kiera, and yeah, I know her from church and everything like that, and it's really incredible. So yeah, I just kind of want to talk to you about like how you got into photography,
Yeah.
and do you do videography as well?
I don't do videography.
You
I've been asked over and over and over again, time and time again.
Yeah.
I just feel like videography is its own beast, kind of.
Yeah.
And I'm already like a self-starter with photography.
Right.
So I kind of just want to stay
Right there.
right in my lane.
Yeah.
But I also don't mind to, get out of my comfort. But right now I know I want to focus still on photography mostly.
I think that's good. Sometimes I think, I don't know, people feel like they got to do everything, and I'm like, because I feel the same way about photography. I'm just like, I'm not good at it. It's not my
Some
good
things
thing.
are not for you. Some things are for other people.
Exactly.
And I'm not one of those people that is trying to have my hands in everything.
Yeah.
I'd rather just hone in on what I know I need to do. And then if I feel like, okay, it's time, then
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
But little snippets here and there,
Yeah.
but not videography.
I got you. Understand
Yeah.
that. So how did you get into photography? When did the journey start for you?
It was 2017. I was in my graduate program at ECU, and I really wasn't even interested in, like, I was just taking photos on my phone, family trips, stuff like that, pictures of my friends. Wasn't really like, oh, I want to be a photographer. I was just kind of messing around.
Yeah.
And then all my friends were like, we think you would be really good at this. And at the time, I had a friend that was through my grad program that was also modeling. And so I was able to kind of just get in that way. And from there, it was a wrap.
Yeah. That's great that they saw that in you, and they didn't like shrug it off as like, oh, she just does this thing, so and so. They like saw like the potential that you had.
Yes. No, all my friends then and now were super, super supportive of me and have been supportive of anything I kind of like say, oh, I'm going to do this. My friends are 110% behind me.
Yeah.
And they actually were like, oh, if you want to like pursue this, we will all get together and buy your first camera for you. And I was like, please don't do that. I'm graduating. Like, I'm still thinking like I have to do what I got my degree for. And I was just like, no, please don't do that. And then my one friend that was doing the modeling, she was able to actually get the camera half off. And so the rest was history.
You have the most phenomenal friends.
I have
gotta tell.
amazing friends. I just want to make that clear. I don't know how I would even like be lifted without my friends, honestly.
Because I know, not mine, but I know some people's families wouldn't even, invest that much into somebody. And so that's
Yes,
incredible.
my friends pour into me all the time. Yeah.
So what's your particular like niche in photography? Do you do everything, or has it transitioned over time from like events to portraits or fashion? What's your area?
Yeah, I think at a point in time I was really doing everything just to kind of get my way around the camera, because like I said, I had no instruction, no training, no guide, no mentor, none of that. So I was just like pressing buttons and teaching myself along the way. So I was really saying yes to everything, but now I'm more settled and very particular about what I say yes to and what I say no to. And so I would feel like my favorite thing to do is editorial work. But I'm very much, utilize me how you need me type.
That seems like a phase like everyone goes through, like creatively. Like you go from, I don't know what I want to do, and I'm trying to learn like how to shoot and everything like that. And you go from shooting everything, and then it kind of funnels down once you kind of like find your footing in things.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think that's dope. Editorial, as in like articles and magazines.
Yes,
like
magazine, commercial is where I want to be. So I'm just trying to say more yeses in that department
Right.
rather than, you know,
Yeah, other stuff.
anything
Yeah.
else. Yeah. But I mean, you do have to do them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I just enjoy people in general. So
Yeah.
I really do say yes to a lot of things because I do want to be able to provide a service for other people and give them, the best that I can. So,
Yeah, yeah, I totally get that. I
yeah.
like I don't really like weddings. Like I'll be a second shooter, but I could never. I don't have like the passion that I know some people do for it, and I'm just like I don't think I would give them my best because it's like 8, 10 hour days, long edits and stuff like that. So I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I have recently gotten into the wedding
okay,
business,
yeah,
and it's very humbling.
yeah,
It's very humbling. Again, it's just like anything else you start new. You have no idea what it's like kind of going in. And then once you get there, you're like, oh, wow. Like, I see why people need second shooters. I see why you really need to know what you're doing
yeah,
to be able to get those shots. But moving forward in that, I always, if someone is interested in wedding photography for me, most times they're coming to me because they know I'm not their traditional shooter for the wedding.
right,
Like I'm gonna give more of like the editorial look rather than what you would see on average of what a wedding looks like.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely.
So just putting your own flavor to it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
never even thought about that. That you have like a unique eye because it's not like your like typical area that you can bring like a unique perspective to things, and people actually like appreciate that.
Yes, people, that's one thing people, when they do an inquiry there, they say, do you do weddings? If you don't, like obviously let us know, but if that's something you do, we would like you because of the specific way you shoot. So instead of me trying to learn how to be a wedding photographer, I just said, well, how can I make a wedding editorial?
Right. Yeah.
So,
That's really dope.
yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
You mentioned before you've been published before. What's the
Yes.
magazine you were publishing for? Editorial, sorry.
What is the magazine I was in? I think it's KVAR, or that's like the publishing site. But yeah, it was super dope.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really cool. What and you like collaborated with someone that was able to get you like opportunity to do that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the one thing about being a creative in this area. So many people are willing to help
Yeah.
get other creatives started or just opening another creative's eye on something else. And I think it's super important to collaborate
Yeah.
with who's around you and what's available. So that was a super good opportunity for me at the time.
This is random, but
Yeah.
I saw a wedding photographer do it. They were shooting film and digital, and so she had her shooter was like loading up the film because you can only do like 15 or 16 shots. You're cranking the thing, and then she takes the digital and takes that. Have you ever like done both of those before?
Never. I've never even. I think I have 3 film cameras now. 2 were passed down to me from my grandfather that passed. And I'm just like, I'll learn that as
Yeah.
it comes, but I'm not switching in between right now.
Yeah, I
I'm
get
not
it.
switching in between because I think that's another thing. Like so many photographers feel the need to be, oh, I'm a film photographer because that's what is like aesthetically popular right now. But again, I'm not really here for all of that. I'm just
Yeah,
here to be me.
yeah, I get that. Get what works for you. I feel
Yeah.
like so you don't have to, do the most. I saw someone purchase like a old like early 2000s or 90s video camera because they were like, yeah, I ordered like for
Yes.
wedding films, and I'm just like, if you think I'm gonna carry this thing around on my
I'm
shoulder,
like,
I'm not
the
about to
way
do
that
it.
you have to run around all day at a wedding,
Yes.
I can't imagine shifting between my already 2 bodies and then shifting between a film as well.
Yeah.
But I think now the things that I have seen with film and the digital, it's super pretty. It's just is that what you want to do or is it not?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I get that. So you've been like in business since 2017.
yes, I would say I really started pushing like it as a business maybe 2018, 19. Because again, I was kind of just like, oh, I'm talented in this area. Kind of just relearning myself and what my gifts are. And so I wasn't really looking at it for monetary value like that at the beginning, but that's just where it ended up.
Yeah. How have you like seen like your growth over the years? Like, is it like skill wise you've grown, or like how you communicate to the people that you're taking photos of? Like, are you a better director in how they should do things, or like in what ways have you grown?
I think I've grown in every capacity of it. Like I see my work from when I first started to now, and the growth is clear. So I definitely think I developed in skill, but communication and direction is definitely one area I feel like I improved on a lot.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I'm very relaxed. So I'm kind of just like, let's flow together in the direction and let's see what we can do together in this like experience. But it really depends on the person that you're shooting and how much direction they need and don't need. Because if you're working with someone that's used to modeling or used to taking photos and is already kind of photogenic, you don't have to direct them as much. You can just kind of flow with them.
Yeah.
And someone that's like, this is my first photo shoot, I'm super nervous. My goal is to direct them, but also to just make them feel comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can relate to that, because some people are just, they can be awkward in front of the
Yeah.
camera, and it can take time to like get used to it. And some people want you to direct, but like kind of like you said, like you had to kind of like grow up over time. Like I feel like I had to learn to like, it's okay to be confident and tell them what to do. Like they're not gonna get offended, and I'm just like, kind of had to grow into that, because I'm very like I'm very chill generally. So I'm just like, so yeah, I think that's great. What future aspirations do you have like for your business? Like where you want to take it?
Again, I would really like to be in editorial commercial as far as bigger brands. And then I also want to open up my own studio.
Your studio, that'd be great. Where would you want to open it up at?
That's the question.
That's the question.
Yeah, that's the question. Like I really love Durham. I love Raleigh. I'm from Charlotte.
Yeah.
It makes sense to start it here, but I'm not gonna block a blessing.
Yeah.
That if it was to be somewhere else.
Yeah. That's dope.
Yeah.
And this would be like a everything studio where like people can rent out spaces, or specifically for like one type of.
Yes, it would be a all inclusive space for everybody to just come and create.
Yeah. That's dope.
Yeah. I just don't feel like I see a lot of women studios, especially Black women studios here in Durham, that are providing that experience, and so it would really be an honor to me to do that for just the city.
Yeah.
And I've seen it done in other cities, and I'm like, I know I can do that too. So it's just kind of when is the right time.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But that's where I'm moving to right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. I love that, because it's like you're creating like opportunities for other people when you're opening a studio to do something. Because one of the biggest problems that me and other people I know run into is they don't have a space to like create the stuff that they want to. And so yeah, we can always use like more of those, especially when you have like the tools and equipment that can help people, like proper lighting and backdrops and different stuff like that. It can really like help people with their craft and everything like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm super observant as to what's going on in the city that I'm in, and then what's going on in the surrounding areas, such as things like you're saying, like there needs to be more spaces for people to create, and more spaces for people to feel comfortable in doing so, to just learn. And there are some here in Durham, obviously, but what's one more?
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of creatives here in the RDU area, so
Yeah.
it would be dope.
Yeah.
I can see it in my head, so I'm like,
you know exactly.
I know
like,
exactly,
what's
going on. Yeah.
Yeah. That's dope. What do you for you, what like inspires you like creatively? Like is it anything, or is it like one particular like source?
No particular source. I would say a lot of things inspire me. I get inspiration by just living and engaging with so many different people. I think that was like the best thing about being a photographer is that I'm meeting so many people that maybe I wouldn't have met before. And so that is inspiring because you're meeting these other people with all other stories, their life stories, and learning and growing with them in that way is just super dope to me. And yeah, I'm inspired by music a lot too. So when I shoot, if I have to listen to particular things before the shoot to get me ready, and then again, I just go from there.
Yeah. That's
So people, I would say, inspire me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I relate to that so much, mainly the music portion, because I can listen to like a song that I really like and I can get like a vision for it. Or even if I'm struggling to come up with a vision, I'm like, let me listen to the song and then listening to it and it'll like kind of like walk me through the motions.
Right.
And so like I get inspiration from other places, but like it feels like music really like charges me to think of something like this would be like a cool soundtrack too or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, music is art.
Yeah.
So, like if I could be anything other than what I am right now, I would be a musician.
Yeah. Do you do any instruments or sing?
No, I don't sing.
Okay,
I
I was
wish I
about to say
could,
that,
and
you know.
everybody knows I wish I could because I will say it. Like I wish I could sing. But no, I played clarinet as a child, but I haven't picked up anything as an adult. But
Okay.
I do love music.
Yeah.
So
That's cool. Yeah. I was you said you play music during like your photography sessions?
yes, I play during the session, and then I edit to music. I can't really edit to anything else.
Yeah.
And when it's a creative shoot versus like family style, where it's something where I was creating with somebody else to like come up with this vision, I have to listen to particular music, and that's how I edit the photo. So whatever I'm listening to is how I'm editing the photo.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
That's phenomenal. Yeah.
yeah. So when I started off, everyone was like, "Oh, your pictures are like so moody. They're so edgy." Well, I was listening to moody, edgy R&B music, so that's exactly what you saw. So I'm like, "You're exactly right."
Yeah. I've never heard about that. Like the music influences how you edit it. That's really cool. I dig
Yeah.
that. Yeah. I would.
You should try it. It really it puts you in a different realm.
Yeah. I've done that with like wedding videos because I'll play like I don't know when if you're just watching people in a bunch of scenes and you're not listening to nothing, it feels kind of like, and especially after I watched it like a dozen times, it feels kind of like tiring and like boring. But you listen to like R&B or something like that, so I can relate to that. But I'm gonna start having to do that like more often, especially when like you might be nervous about something or just kind of like relax you into it. That's
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought of something recently of people that are nervous in front of the camera that I'm gonna start doing, and snap your fingers till you step. You can do it all by yourself. I'm gonna start getting people to do that with me when we first start out, and either they're gonna laugh because of my singing is trash, or because the moves are not all the way there. So I can, I'm gonna start using that, to help relax people.
Yes, I mean, you're doing like I feel relaxed.
Yeah.
So, and this is my first time on camera like to do anything like this. So, snap your fingers, do your snap.
I was gonna say, in other words, you say you don't gotta do that.
You ain't have to do all that here. Like you don't have to do that, but I appreciate that that's where you're going next.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. We were talking before about your worst, some of like your worst experiences when it comes to like, taking photos of someone. And I know you were trying to think of like there have been many, but can you think of like any of the times where like something was really one session stood above the rest, like maybe the way a client responded to you, or how maybe you thought something would turn out bad and it was like, oh, this is much better than I thought it was.
It's like I guess I know what was worse, but I'm like, oh, I'm on camera.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You don't got to for legal reasons. We just go.
I know exactly what. Yeah. What happened during the shoot? Like I said, it was very chaotic as far as I was brought into the shoot. for fresh eyes to capture what was going on. And, you know, when you're doing a production, everybody on the production needs to know what's going on. If they don't, then obviously things are going to fall at the seams. So as relaxed as I am, I also like things to be structured and to know what I'm getting into before I'm there, or even while I'm there, you know, have a list of what we're doing. And it was just a mess. And it was a lot of people at that. So it's like you have to have structure when you're working with multiple different people and angles of a production. And if you don't, it's going to fall through. So
it's crazy how like communication, you see how you learn more and more, like how like this can sometimes be the hardest part of a job. It's not like figuring out the lighting and what the type they want, because sometimes I was doing a video for someone and they didn't properly communicate one of their expectations to me. And when they were like, do you have like any footage of this happening? And I was like, no, I don't have any of it. And we couldn't go back and do it. And so yeah, communication is paramount, and having that structure.
Yes, I would say communication, just in life, you have to be a good communicator to be effective in anything you do. So when you think about that in the creative realm or artist realm, like you have to be able to communicate what needs to be done, how do you want it done, where do you want me, what do I need to bring, like what are your expectations of me? Because if you don't communicate that, then the shoot's over and then you have all these asks and demands, but you did not communicate that beforehand, and the shoot's over. We can't reshoot. We can't, you know, we can't do that. So I would say communication's number one in business and in life.
I very, very much agree. Boy.
Like, and I just be like, okay.
You got to, right? Because you don't want to, even when they're in the wrong, it can feel like my reputation is more important than like this little spat that's going on here.
Reputation is for sure.
Because I think, do you feel like you get a lot of your bookings from like word of mouth? Like, oh, my friend does this, they could take these photos for you or anything like that?
Yes. My friends laugh at me, but I when I started out, I was like, I want to run this operation like Hitch. And they're like, Tayla, please stop. Like, don't say stuff like that. And I'm like, no, I think that's like the best way to know that you're going to work with someone that is already recommended by someone that you know. So you know how they're going to be. Or that you know that this is good ground. Obviously, I don't want everything to be like that now that I'm bigger and growing, but I do like the word of mouth recommendations because those people are able to advocate for your work in other ways that you're not. And I just like that.
Especially when they're like someone else that's like in the field that you're in. Because I've noticed for me, I've gotten a lot of referrals mainly because people that I work with. And I feel like it even hits differently coming from them because they know what has to go into it. They know like this, they have their own high standard. And so if they can refer you, that's probably even like, you know, even more like kudos to you because they're like, Tayla, she kill it out here. Like she got you.
Yes, I love when someone's like, "Blah blah recommended me." Like you said earlier today, you're like, "Oh, I've been following you previously before we even met face to face, and based on whoever I shot, and that has been literally how it's been since I started. It's just I don't know who's following me or who's not. Really not paying attention like that because again, I'm not really in it for clout. I'm just in it to provide a service and to make people feel better about themselves. So I'm not paying attention to who's following me, who's not. And so when I get those inquiries and it's like, oh, I've been following you for this amount of time and you've worked with this person, that person that I know. So that's why I wanted to come to you. I'm like, this is great. Like, good, my work is done.
Because it's like literally your work is literally speaking for itself.
Right.
Like there's no better like salesman or like marketing campaign than like your work itself, because a great
Absolutely.
photo will have you clicking like, who did they tag? Oh, let me see who this is. That stuff is fantastic.
Recently, I don't even do like the reels and stuff yet. That is something I'll be working on, and this year is just like, I guess, putting my stuff out there more. But I did a reel of a wedding, and it was like all I did was post it. It went skyrocket.
Yeah.
Like, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you do wedding? Oh my," like, again, word of mouth. Oh,
Yeah.
we know them. Like, and that's just how it goes, and you get referrals.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I don't have to speak for it.
Yeah. It speaks for itself.
It speaks for itself.
I ain't gotta flex.
I ain't gotta flex.
The
It
work
speaks
is-
for it speaks for itself. I'm
Exactly.
not like, that's just who I am as a person outside of photography too. Like, I'm not gonna press you. It speaks for itself.
Right. Yep. That's phenomenal. 'Cause
Yeah.
we almost have time, but
Yeah.
one thing I would say, I feel like sometimes people can get pressed when certain people are not like supporting their stuff. But I'm gonna be honest, because I can speak for me. Sometimes you're not consistent with your stuff and posting it, and sometimes like people may not be it may not be very great. You
Yeah.
know? So sometimes when it speaks for itself, that's gonna have a greater impact than other stuff. And
Yes,
so,
but we do, as creative, have to post our stuff.
Yeah.
I'm talking to myself right now.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I
for
have
sure.
got to, do better with that. But I think in the outside world, when you're not in
yeah.
the creative realm or into that, people don't know actually how much bandwidth that takes,
Yeah.
because you're in your head about
What everybody's gonna think.
what are people gonna think? Are people gonna receive it like I'm receiving it? Is this what I need to post? Is this gonna get tracked?
Yeah.
Like, is this popular? Like, is this that? Is this all these other things?
Yeah.
It's like, when you strip that off and you just focus on, okay, this is my work.
Yeah.
I'm gonna post when I want, and hopefully people receive that as it is.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at.
That's very true. You're
Like-
right. You gotta accept people for where they are, and
Yeah,
not for
like-
where you want them to be.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
you do have to post.
Yeah.
But like I said, I feel like I want to do it at my terms and my own time. And if it's my time, then it's my time to get seen.
Yeah. That's dope. That's
Yeah.
excellent. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
We good?
I think so. We got like one more minute. Oh,
Anything else?
Do you have anything to plug? Like,
Do I have anything to plug?
Yeah.
We are open for business all 2023.
Yeah.
Please book with me in Cloud 10 Photography.
Yeah.
We love you all. And yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you
just
so much.
Hit the DMs, hit the email,
Yeah. For sure.
Twitter,
I'll put everything in the little thirds.
Cash App, Venmo, whatever the people say, all
Cash.
that. Subscribe. I don't have a link.
Right. She will though one day.
Okay, yes,
It's
I need a
coming.
subscription link. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, once again, Miss Tayla Berry, thank you very
Yes.
much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Let me make sure I have enough time. What is this? 28? No, it's 29, 21. Whew.